Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? Happy to have you here. Thanks for everybody who has been subscribing. If you are not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. I do go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to have you on my live stream if you are available. Let's go ahead and get some stamping done. We are using Playing in the Rain this week, and I already have done a card. It was published on YouTube on Sunday, and my live stream was Tuesday, and today it is Wacky Wednesday. So we are going to be making this really fun umbrella card. I just thought that this card was so cute, and I had to use up the umbrellas that is in the specialty DSP. That designer series paper is amazing. It has pages that have all these cute little characters on them. There's this fox and the bunny and the turtle holding the flower. There's a turtle with the umbrella. There's a little piggy with an umbrella. And then there's this cute little dog. So there's some really cute characters on that paper. Not to mention that the paper is iridescent. It has a sheen to it. The umbrellas were cut from that paper. So I'm going to try and catch the light in my room so that you guys can see that shine off of this really cool paper. So those umbrellas are from that. There's a whole page of umbrellas, so you can cut to your heart's content and make the cutest rainy day cards. So we are going to make this card today. Let me show you the inside. It says rainy days are better with you, and here is the cute little bunny. Now this one we're going to stamp and color with our Stampin' Blends. You see I have a few Stampin' Blends out. But this really cool border of rain clouds, I used the Basic Borders dies. If you do not have these dies, grab them. They are amazing. They're part of my basic shape arsenal. I love dies, especially basic shapes. These borders are amazing. I have used them over and over again, and they are worth getting and taking a look into. So let's go ahead and get started, and we are going to be using the Playing in the Rain bundle, which is the stamp set and the matching dies, and this really cool border set. All right, here we go. So the base of our card is Mango Melody, and I took an 8.5 by 5.5 inch sheet of cardstock, scored it down the middle, and we are going to burnish that right down the center at the 4.25 inch mark. So there is our card base. Now, as you can see, everything is kind of lifted up and off of this card. We've used Stampin' Dimensionals to give it a little bit of lift. Now, remember I talked to you about those border dies. I did this little cloud border, and I'm going to show you. I took a strip of smoky slate cardstock, and I laid it onto my die cut machine with the die on top, and when I cut it out, that's what I got. So I have this really cool little border here that's going to be right along this edge. Doesn't that just tie in with the rain and the clouds? I just think it's such an amazing little border. I've also used that border on the inside of my card where my bunny is. So at the top, I made a little cloud border. I just thought it was appropriate because now the sky has kind of brightened. There's puddles, and he's jumping in the puddles. All right, so let's go ahead and work on the sponging in the background. So we're going to use Balmy Blue and one of our blending brushes. And we are going to give a little bit of sky there. And on the inside, I gave a little bit of sky as well. So I've already die cut a piece for the inside. Let me get you guys measurements. I didn't write them down, so we'll measure as we go. This is 3.25 inches by 5. And then I have a little bit of Flirty Flamingo that runs on 3 sides of this piece. to tie in with the color I used for the words. And that piece of Flirty Flamingo is 3 3/8 by 5 1/8. And then our white piece for the inside is just your average piece, 4 by 5 1/2. And then I've die cut the top, okay, with the really cool border of clouds. So let's get that one first. We're going to use our balmy blue ink. We're going to pick it up with our blending brush. And then I always like to kind of get that initial dark spot out. So we're going to bring this up here. I'm going to show you the inside so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So we're just going to start here at the edge and come along with the stitching first, and then slowly work our way down and start forming kind of a little cloud base at the top of our card. You don't need a lot of ink to get this really pretty look. And there is our sky above our bunny. So on the inside, we're going to stamp our bunny. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp him, even though we'll color him in a little bit, and just get that part out of the way. When I have a large stamp like this, I like to bring the smaller ink pad up over the top of it and just make sure that all of my dots and spots of my stamp are nice and inked. And let's go ahead and stamp him in this corner here where he is going to be splashing in the puddles. He's such a cute little bunny. I love the expression on his face. The artist who drew him did such a great job, because look how cute he is. All right, I'm just going to set this aside for right now, and we'll come back to it. Let me clean my stamp with my bunny on it, and we'll go ahead and add some color to the front of our card. So I'll close the card so you can see what I'm getting ready to do there. All right, so on this piece here, we are going to do a little bit of rain and sky all over, and then we're going to stamp our really cool raindrops, okay? So let's get that going. Again, I'm going to pick up some color. I'm going to get off that dark piece first. It always, I don't know, there's just something about the first pass through with the blending brush. You get that kind of darkness there, which we don't want. And I am going to try and keep my brush in the center of my card, not near the edges. And I just want some sky area built up here in the middle. Where you press the most or go over the most is going to be the darkest, and where you just graze over is going to be the lightest. So just take your time. Start adding that really cool sky here. Get a little darker here in this corner, and maybe up in here. So there is my sky area. Isn't that pretty? Just a light, subtle amount. And I have already stamped my clouds, and I sponged over the top of them and die cut those. I had to die cut them, so I went ahead and did that ahead of time. So these are going to be our little rain clouds in the sky. Looking good so far? Let's do some rain. Let's get it raining. So I'm going to grab my smoky slate ink pad. And let's grab our little raindrop stamp. We don't want to get too crazy. We're going to have a cloud about here, so we want some rain drops coming in that direction. So that'll be right around our little cloud. We're going to have some over here, and we're going to have some coming out of this larger cloud, which is going to sit a little higher. So we want to make sure, maybe we put some right there. That looks good. And maybe one more set about right there. That looks pretty good to me. There's our raindrops. All right, and our last little bit of stamping we're going to do is with our Flirty Flamingo. We're going to do our sentiment. So let me grab that. It says, rainy days are better with you. I'm going to clean my raindrops, and we'll be ready for our next stamp here. All right, rainy days are better with you. I often put 2 stamps on the same block. It's just the way I tend to stamp. I'm going to bring this down so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to put it up in this upper right-hand corner here. Rainy days are better with you. And you want to push down at the top of your block to give pressure over your words. And there is my sentiment. Let's clean that off. And what do you say we do a little coloring? I think it's a good idea. Okay, let's grab my Stampin' Blends and let's open up to our bunny. I'm just gonna put my clouds and my die cut umbrellas off to the side here. And let's bring our bunny in. So let's look at what we did with him here. So it looks like we have this cute little raincoat. Let's start with that. I'm using some dark Daffodil Delight. And I forgot that I used a light pumpkin pie because we don't have a mango melody blend. So we have to try and create that color ourselves. So let's just start with our dark daffodil. We're going to fill his jacket. And then we're going to take that and kind of shade some areas, which will darken that mango. Like so. I mean, not mango, daffodil, sorry. We're going to make it a mango. I don't know why I didn't pull that out. Let me grab my light. Oh, there it is. It was in my basket. I just didn't see it. Okay. So we're going to now fill with light pumpkin pie just to give a little bit of orange undertone. I'm going to color the whole jacket. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to give it some dark areas where the artist put some lines here where there would be some shading. And I'm going to go over it one more time with my daffodil. Dark daffodil. There we go. As it dries, it will lighten and it will look like a Mango Melody raincoat. All right, we're going to use our light Flirty Flamingo for the inner ear. So cute, this bunny is. All right, and then the nose is going to go in dark. Flirty. And I'm not going to do any shading, maybe just over the lines where the artist drew there. And now comes our Smoky Slate, which is the color I chose to make the rabbit. So we're going to start with a light Smoky Slate. And we are going to color him. I like to use the bullet tip a lot better than the brush. So let me switch. I feel more comfortable not going out of the lines with the bullet tip, so let's just roll with that. What I love about these blends is that they blend right into the ink, right into the paper. The ink goes right into the paper, so the beautiful thing about it is it doesn't take very long to color, which is why I chose to color with you. I don't color often. A lot of times I have it colored in. But I just really wanted to show you how you can go about adding color and shading. Now, if I was stamping him directly on the inside of the card and it was a white card, I would not use my Stampin' Blends because it would bleed through the back. I'm going to show you in a second once I'm done here with this light Smoky Slate before I start the shading on our bunny. I'm going to show you the back. See how it bleeds through? So you don't want that in the back of your card. So you definitely only want to use it when it's going to be covered. So we're going to use the dark, and we're going to do a little shading here on our bun. I'm going to go around certain areas and just add a little bit of extra color. And then I am going to take my light smoky slate, and I'm going to blend it out. Maybe right here under the jacket. All right. So just a little bit of shading, and we're going to take, like I said, our light, and we're just going to blend that in like that. But it'll give a little bit of definition to our bunny. So cute. And then let's do the puddle. Now when we do the puddle, we're going to do light and dark again. We're going to start the puddle with the light, balmy blue. See how quick you can color something. There's the light. And then we're going to just use the dark on the artist lines and on these two little splashes that come to the outside of the puddle. And then I'm going to outline this bottom section like that of our puddle. All right, so there's our cute little bunny. I'm going to move my Stampin' Blends out of the way, put them back in my basket. And let's go ahead and attach him on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and flip him over. You can see how the color bleeds through, which is, again, why we don't want to do this onto a piece of white cardstock that is going to be the outside of our card, because it would show. But that's the beauty of Stampin' Blends. We want them to bleed into the paper. That's how we get that beautiful look that we get from them. All right, let's flip this over and open our card. And we will put our bunny right here on the inside. So cute he is. All right, let's work on the outside of our card now. All right, so for the outside, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to attach this border right here onto my basic white, and I'm going to trim off the excess. So I cut it always a little bit long, so we're going to go ahead and attach that first. So let's go ahead and add a nice thin layer of our wet adhesive. You guys know I love this wet adhesive. I'm going to turn this way. And I'm going to attach, and then we're going to trim the excess off. We want to have a nice little border. And then we're going to just bring our scissor in here and trim that away. There we go. Pretty good. So this is going to be the front of our card, just like that. Looks pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and add our layer of Flirty. So we're going to add this here, and it is going to be the border all the way around. I need to trim a little bit off of it, so let me grab my mini guillotine cutter. Have it just a hair too long. See, this tiny little bit, not very much, right? Let's go ahead and now line it up. I think it's going to be way better. I think I just had it off by a tiny hair. Yep, that looks amazing, because I want it to be even on the right side with that white edge. Okay, let's glue that down. And then we'll work on our umbrellas. We'll work on our umbrella placement. All right, I'm not putting any adhesive on the gray part, just the white. But I am going to hold it by the smoky slate. And we are going to drop this piece down. And like I said, the white edge is going to be even. with that flirty. And then we're going to just hold that for a second and get that to set. Whoops, I slid it too much on this side. So let's slide it back. My hand, I didn't realize how wet it was. It slid. That's the nice thing though about working with wet adhesive, is that you have that little bit of wiggle room that you can slowly ease things over. All right, so there we go. There's our border. All right, let's start with our umbrella placement. And we can also add dimensionals to the back of our cloud. So let's grab that. Let's put one here, two here, and I think I'm going to use one big one there. I'm going to put minis on either side of it if I can find my minis. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's attach those and then we'll work on the umbrellas. So let's go ahead and pull the backs off of our cool little rain clouds and start adding them up onto our card at the top. The open umbrellas are going to have dimensionals on the back, and the closed umbrellas, we're going to leave those flat. Let's put this one a little higher, just like that. One more. This is such a cute card. We'll put one right there. All right. So for the rain clouds, like I said, these three are going to get dimensionals, but these other ones are going to be flat. So I'm just going to lay them how I want them on my card. This one is one of the edges, so I have to figure out how I want to put it. Maybe like that. I cut it off the edge of the paper, so don't throw away your edges, so you can use all the parts and pieces. Let's go ahead and start putting a little glue on these. You don't need much. This glue is pretty strong. Let's do one at a time though. So let's put this one right here, maybe in this bottom corner. All right, let's do our blue umbrella next, one at a time. And then we'll put some dimensionals on our larger umbrellas and we'll place them where they look good. There's that one. Let's take our green. Aren't these cool? I love that they have that iridescence in this paper on the colored parts, that they're shiny. And I think that's really pretty. All right, let's angle this one kind of from this direction, maybe right about there. That looks good to me. Okay. All right, let's put some dimensionals on our umbrellas. Let's start with a large in the middle, and then let's put two minis on either side. That helps get in there. And then we're gonna probably have the ends with our edges. So let's just lay them down before we put any, before we cut any edges. You guys know how I cut those edges, so I'm gonna leave that out. This one has the water in it, so it has to go this direction, and I didn't fussy cut that so great, did I? Let's bring that in. There we go, much better. So this one we're gonna put here on the edge, just like that. And so I'm gonna have to prop that piece. So that one's gonna need, let's go ahead and cut a real skinny, little tiny border to lift up that umbrella handle. Make sure that I have it in the right place so it doesn't show. I love that we get the edges on those Stampin' dimensionals so that we can do things like this. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the backs and we'll glue this one down now that we have the handle part taken care of. So this one, I'm actually gonna trim this point off. I'm gonna trim that off and bring that around here because I think we need to put it kind of farther down. All right. Let's go ahead and put that at the end right there. That looks awesome. And see how it's collecting water because it's upside down. All right, so now let's grab this one. Let's see which one this is. So this is our green one, and it is gonna kind of be flying from the weather. So we also need a support. So let's cut a little skinny piece and attach that one. And this is how I went about when I designed the card. I just went one at a time and placed the pieces until I was happy with the placement. Let's throw that away and get the last dimensional. All right, so this one's going to be coming from this direction. And that looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? One more to go. Let's see how this one's going to look. All right, now this one is going to be resting on here, so we're going to have to put a little wet glue there, but we could put a small support at the top of that. So let's cut another one. Just a real thin piece. Sometimes when you cut those little thin pieces, the backing comes off of them right away, but that's okay. Just remove it. There we go. There's a support at the top. We'll put glue. We'll put wet glue at the bottom because it's going to rest on top of this umbrella and it will need a little bit of glue. So let's go ahead and bring that over onto our mat. And I'm going to put wet adhesive down here. Fabulous. And let's stick our umbrella on. So we'll put it from this direction, like so, and that piece is going to rest on that yellow umbrella. Looks pretty awesome. Very pleased with that. Now we're going to lift this whole piece up off of the mango. So let's flip that over and add onto the back some large, especially behind these little cloud pieces for support. We're going to do our corners, of course, right? We always have to have in the corners. I'm going to move this one out a little because there's one right there. Let's put this one near the end, and then let's put some in the middle. I think I'm going to use some minis right on this edge. I don't want the edge to fall at all, and the minis will help that. All right, I think we're good. What do you guys think? Maybe right there. The edges are always the most important part of our cards. I always, I'd rather over-dimensionalize than under and have it fall. So here we go, a mountain of dimensionals, off they come. But we pull them off one at a time. 5 or 6 fit on my Take Your Pick tool, so that's about where I stop. All right. And the last 3. See how fast they do come off, though? The Take Your Pick tool is the best. All right, let's attach it onto our card. Then we'll put our embellishments on, and we'll be good to go. So we're going to put a little border here on this end and the top and bottom. Oh my gosh, this card is so cute. All right, so for the embellishments, I am using pastel pearls, and I like to color these with Stampin' Blend. So you'll see I have a variety of colors here because I've been playing with them, but the gray ones, I colored those with the rich raspberry. But I'm going to use these gray. I have 3 left, so I'm going to go ahead and use those on this card. It's time to get a new pack almost. I'm almost out of colors, so when you start losing options, you have to, let's see, maybe right here. That looks awesome. So happy with that. So if you haven't tried these pastel pearls, check them out because they're pretty cool. They have purples and pinks, and you can color some of the lighter colors with darker colors of Stampin' Blends, which I love that about any embellishment. When it gives me that kind of versatility, I think it's pretty fantastic. All right, so let's revisit what we did today. We used Playing in the Rain bundle, which is how I was able to cut out my clouds. Here's the die for that. My bunny was stamped straight, but I used this to cut my clouds out, and my umbrella, the small umbrella, can be die cut, but the big one had to be fussy cut. And then I used the border dies to get all of our cool cloud edges. There's one there and the one on the inside. So I hope that you enjoyed the process of watching me make this fantastic card, that you will come back again tomorrow. We'll have another video for you. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a pretty cool card, a fun fold. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the notifications so that you'll know when I post new videos. Check out my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I do post every single day there. Even though I don't have a video every day, I do have information. And I use a bundle or stamp set for an entire week, so you definitely get your money's worth when you buy those. And I feed you lots of ideas and information about the suite or bundle or stamp set. So thanks for hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing my video. I do appreciate that. If you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. And as I provide inspiration for you, I would hope that you'd help me out by hitting that thumbs up. Thanks for being here, guys. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!